Hello, my name's David, and I'm 65 years old. I've worked hard all my life, and I've learned a lot along the way. I'd like to share my story with you. When I was 19, I started working every single day. I didn't know what life had in store, but I was ready to give my all. It wasn't easy. I worked long hours, sacrificed time with my family, and had little sleep. But I kept going because I knew that every day was a step towards something better. There were times I felt lost. I didn't know how to fix everything, but I knew I had to keep trying no matter how hard it was. After all those years, I learned that nothing worth having comes easy. Perseverance and patience were the greatest lessons I ever learned. When I started a family, everything changed. I had more responsibility, but also more love in my life. Every day was a balance between work and family. But I wouldn't change a thing. Family always came first.
Dad, is this right? What about this one?
You're both very close. There were times when I didn't know how we would make it. Money was tight, and the future felt uncertain. But I always found a way to keep moving forward. My wife was my rock. She always believed in me, even when I doubted myself. Together we made it through the hardest times. I learned that sacrifice isn't always easy, but it's worth it for the ones you love. Love is what kept me going, even when life was hard. I made my fair share of mistakes, but each mistake taught me something important: how to be better, how to grow. I didn't learn patience easily, but life taught me that the best things take time, just like this tree I'm planting now. See, it's starting to grow already. There were many times when I felt overwhelmed at work, but I kept pushing forward, knowing that hard work pays off in the end. All those years of hard work paid off. The pride I felt in those moments made every sacrifice worth it. I've had my fair share of failures, but I've learned that they don't define you. What matters is how you rise after you fall. At 65, I finally retired, but the pension I received was far less than I expected. It was a harsh reality, but I had to face it. Retirement didn't mean the end of my journey. Life doesn't stop, and neither should you. There's always something to live for. At first, it was hard to adjust, but I've come to enjoy the quieter pace. It gives me time to appreciate the little things. It's not easy to live on a small pension. Some days it feels like I'm barely making it, but I make do and I find a way. I've learned to be content with what I have. Life isn't about having more, it's about appreciating what you have in front of you. Faith in God has been my anchor throughout my life. In my darkest moments, I always found comfort in Him. Through prayer, I found strength. It reminds me that I'm never truly alone. God is always with me. My parents taught me about faith from a young age. Those lessons stayed with me, and I've carried them through my life. Faith isn't just for Sundays. It's in the little things we do every day, with kindness, with patience, and with love. I trust in God's plan. Even when things didn't go as I hoped, I knew there was a greater purpose for everything. Retirement came, and it felt like stepping into a new chapter of life. It wasn't what I expected, but I knew I had to adjust. At first, I didn't know what to do with my time, but slowly I found new hobbies that brought joy and purpose. Sometimes the silence is loud. I miss the busy days, the constant movement, but I remind myself that this too shall pass. There are days when I worry about money, about the future, but I've learned that worrying never changes anything. Life may have slowed down, but it's given me time to appreciate the simple things, like a warm cup of coffee or a peaceful morning. Gratitude has been one of my greatest lessons. Every day, I find something to be thankful for, no matter how small. Getting older comes with its challenges. My body may not be what it used to be, but my heart is still strong. Loss is part of life. I've lost friends, family, and moments I'll never get back. I've made my peace with the past. I've forgiven myself, and I've learned that dwelling on old wounds doesn't help anyone. My family is my greatest blessing. They've taught me more about love than anything else in life. Spending time with my children, teaching them, sharing wisdom, that's what makes my heart full. Sometimes I find peace in silence. The world is loud, but I've learned to find quiet moments that nourish my soul. Each new day is a gift. I wake up grateful for the chance to live another day, no matter how simple it may seem. Health is something I didn't fully appreciate until I grew older. Now, I cherish each breath, each step I can still take. With age comes wisdom. I've learned that life isn't about success or failure. It's about learning and growing through every moment. Rushing through life doesn't get you anywhere. Sometimes, the most valuable lessons come when you take your time. Sometimes, I reflect on the life I've lived, the choices I've made, and the lessons I've learned. I'm grateful for it all. Success isn't about money or fame. For me, success means living a life I'm proud of, surrounded by those I love. Every night, I write down what I'm thankful for. It helps me remember that no matter how hard life gets, there's always something to be grateful for. True happiness isn't found in grand things, but in small, everyday moments. The sound of birds, a cup of tea, a warm smile. Life has its storms, but I've learned that every storm passes. And when it does, the sun always shines again. True friends are like treasures. They lift you up, they share your burdens, and they make the journey sweeter. My family extends beyond just my children. We support each other, share memories, and celebrate life together.
So true, David. These moments are everything.
And the stories get better every year.
Definitely.
I've learned that forgiveness is for your peace, not for the other person. Letting go of anger frees your heart. Solitude is often where we find our truest selves. It's in the quiet moments that life's biggest lessons are revealed. I've learned to appreciate life in all its forms. Even on the toughest days, I take a moment to look up and be thankful for this gift. I don't need much to be happy. A good book, a warm cup of tea, and a quiet day are enough for me. As I've gotten older, I've learned to recognize my limits. Pushing too hard only leads to burnout. It's okay to rest. I've learned to live in the present. Tomorrow is never promised, so I cherish every moment I have with the people I love.
That's so true, David. These moments are everything.
Age has taught me that life isn't about rushing or accumulating things. It's about understanding and appreciating the journey. I've learned that holding on to grudges only weighs you down. Forgiveness lightens your heart and brings peace. I love life, not because it's perfect, but because it's filled with small, beautiful moments. That's enough for me. Life is a journey, full of twists and turns, and the most important thing I've learned is to keep moving forward, no matter the path. I'm thankful for each new day. No matter how it unfolds, I choose to see the good in it. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it's reminded you that no matter where we are in life, there's always something to be grateful for. Take it one day at a time.